All right, we're recording.
Yes, sir.
Welcome everyone to the Rink Rat Report podcast, early September episode. So hockey news is going to start to trickle in. No affiliation with the publication Hockey News, but news from the hockey world is going to start trickling in very, very shortly. Training camps are around the corner. You got to get ready. I think a lot of people are chomping at the bit for hockey to come back. As always, joined by Jason today.
How's it going, guys? I'm excited. We're maybe 2 or 3 weeks away, I want to say, from getting like some actual news, some meat on the bone, something. It's been like 2 months of nothing. You know, hockey season is just about to ramp up when 32 Thoughts comes back with a podcast. That's how you know it is hockey season's around the corner. So, we got let's call it 2 or 3 weeks away before some actual news. Probably be previewing some bunch of Leafs camp stuff when that stuff comes out. For now,
rookie camp's in like 10 days. I want to say, maybe even less.
Oh yeah, so I cannot wait for that. So yeah,
I probably can't watch it this year, which sucks. But oh well. Anyways,
in the background at work, it's fine. It's fine.
Not when you're at the office, but yeah, it's always fun watching guys that I don't know, you might never hear of ever again, but they scored a rookie camp, so they'll always have that. But today we have our breakout players, are highly anticipated. Every summer we do it. No Josh this year, thank God. He some of his picks that were a little bit hot last year actually landed. And thank God he's not on this episode to throw it in our faces. So there's that. But we have our breakout players draft. We're going to do snake draft just like all the other ones. There's actually no news to get through, right? Michael Delzato retired. That's like the only news.
Yeah, that's the only thing. And good for him for retiring, I guess. I don't know what to say there.
Decent, pretty good career, I would say.
Yeah.
Made some money. Now he can go be a real estate DJ, professional hot guy.
That's a great job, great role.
Exactly. So, do you want to go first?
I'm gonna
first last draft.
I can't remember either, so I'm just gonna do the randomize again, and you're gonna have to trust me. And I am first this time, so I'm gonna go first. But before I go, do you want to run a quick ad?
Yes, I want to talk to you about our friends from Manscaped. As I've mentioned before, it is sweaty sack summer. You want to be scaped from pubes to bum this summer. We've been talking about Manscaped for years now. It's the best men's grooming out there. Promo code RINKRAT, that is RINKRAT at manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping. We've told you about the Lawnmower 4.0. We've told you about the underwear and the crop preserver and everything that it's all amazing stuff. I've heard nothing but great stuff from people that have bought it. Promo code RINKRAT, manscaped.com, 20% off and free shipping. Shall we get into it?
Yeah, quickly. I use it. Not only good things from the people who bought it, but from the people who use it. Like, listen, it keeps me clean, keeps me fresh. Let's just say that, especially in the hot summer. And hey, don't underrate how sweaty the winter can get. It's football season. You carve out your spot on the couch on Sundays. It gets a little sweaty, if you know what I mean. So, anyways, promo code RINKRAT, 20% off. So let's get into the first pick. I mulled over this one quite a bit, and I can't remember. I might have picked them for my bounce back or break. I'm not sure.
Moritz Seider.
No, it's not Moritz Seider. But for my first breakout candidate, because we do this is we do it based on points and points per game, because that's kind of the best way to
we should clarify beforehand. It's points or points per game. I think we can do either or. You had Matt Boldy last year, who he had a good year, but it was like he came on pretty hot and had like 41 points in 47 games. So I'll give you. He did kind of break out, I would say, last year. But it's non-rookies breaking out. I think we should really preface that and hammer that home, non-rookies, so that people aren't screaming, "Oh, Connor Bedard's going to break out this." We know Connor Bedard.
We know.
We're not morons.
Yeah, and that just to to go off that quickly. That and along also, No
like
Matthew
they
Nyes.
can't win the Calder Trophy. That's
no Matthew
Nyes
Nyes.
does not
no
count.
Joseph Wall. So it's hard.
I don't even know if he's a rookie or not, but we're not counting Joseph Wall.
I feel like he's a rookie. He played 4 games the year before, 7 games the year after. I think actually he's not a rookie because he played 3 seasons, right? Did he play 3 seasons?
No, 2.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure he's still considered a rookie under like the Michael Bunting rules that I remember. But for goalies, it's different. But anyways, who cares?
Couldn't have played more than 6 games in 2 consecutive seasons. It says something like that.
So he played 7 games last year. So
anyways, he doesn't count. Everyone knows Joseph Wall. We talked about him ad nauseum last episode and how great he is. I think like if you listen to last episode, you know how much we love him. He's going to break out 100%. Who cares?
Exactly. And if you haven't, go listen to the last episode there. So anyways, without further ado, my first pick. So I'm gonna go with Ross Colton. That's my first pick. So Ross Colton last year, 81 games played, 32 points. But I mean, he got almost no power play time playing with the Tampa Bay Lightning. And I don't know what the time is going to look like now that he's on the, the Colorado Avalanche. But if this guy can sniff power play time, if he can sniff in the top 6, this guy's shown in the past that he can score and score very well. I mean, he's done well in the playoffs for them, like 9 points the previous year, 6 points the year before that, 4 points most recently in the playoffs. Listen, he's a good player.
Stanley Cup winning goal, game-winning goal in the Stanley Cup Finals. No,
does all the things right. Can shoot, can score. I mean, I'm a big fan of Ross Colton here. So I mean, 32 points. It is 32 points per over an 82 game season. Give me him to get. If he's playing with that top 6, I mean, he seems like a perfect fit for them.
Might be.
Who knows if he can?
They have Ryan Johansson in there too, so maybe that's another guy that kind of boxes out your Ross Colton pick. But I like the player himself. I think the player is talented. I think it was a pretty good get for the Avalanche there. Like, not to dox him, but yeah, Ryan Johansson I feel like could screw you up a little bit, but Ross Colton's a solid player.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, yeah, I more so when I came into this, I was thinking that Johansson would play that more sheltered 3C role, and then they'll let Colton kind of run wild on line 2. But maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe I have a bad read on the situation. We'll see what happens.
All right. That is a good pick. My first pick, it's between. I wasn't really considering him. There was someone on Twitter. I can't remember. I'm not even going to look it up right now. It's going to ruin the flow and the momentum that I have right now. It was a former first overall pick. I'm going with Owen Power.
Wow.
I think like with Owen Power, we discussed with Will Scouching, if you remember, I think it was 2 years ago, what Owen Power really is. Like when he got to the NHL, like there's a lot of play on words, but raw power with him. There's a lot of raw ability with him. The Buffalo Sabres are a better team better team this year than last year. I think that's going to really help him. I think just everyone getting better on that team is going to help him a lot. I like the ability of the player. I think that Owen Power is going to really jump up in points. It's unfortunate he's not going to get any significant power play time. Unfortunately, that's obviously going to be Rasmus Dahlin. And I mean, he had a big breakout season last year, but I think Owen Power is a solid pick there. So we got 1 forward, 1 D off the board. Snake draft, so it comes back to me.
Yep.
I'm going to go with a forward in Lucas Raymond. I think a lot of people were a little bit surprised by the stall in points last year. I think also, again, another team, the Red Wings are better this year than last year. I think that's really going to help. They added Alex DeBrincat. They added Comfer, who's whatever. I think they'll bolster something or another. But Andrew Kopp now having a full year with the Red Wings under his belt and not coming off of core surgery in the offseason. I think he started really slow, and that really hampered a lot of people. Larkin's still there too. So I think that another year of maturity for Lucas Raymond. I like the player, very skilled, pretty good shot too. So I think Lucas Raymond is my second pick.
Yeah, and I had him on
name out loud. I might have not should have had him. I don't know. Anyways.
No, that's fine. I think that's a good pick. I mean, listen, I had him on my list as well. Like you said, like it's it's a situation where a rising tide raises all boats, right? The Detroit Red Wings,
Good.
I'm not going to say I'm high on them, but I think they're better than the Ottawa Senators at the very least. Yeah, I think they're definitely a much better team than last year. And I mean, listen, he's coming 21 now, 22 now. Starting to come into his own at the NHL level. He'll probably get I don't know how much power play time he got last year. I can't imagine that he's not on the first power play for them this year with them losing Tyler Bertuzzi. So, I mean, hey, you lose a guy like Bertuzzi.
I don't know their power play situation. We should have
That's true. Well, listen, I think he can easily slide in here and do some good things for you. So yeah, I like that pick for you. I like that pick. All right, back to me. I'm gonna go forward here, and it's kind of gonna be in the boldy. I'm gonna call it my boldy pick for this year, because maybe he's already broken out. You could say that, but also at the same time, he only played 24 games played last year, so I don't think that really counts as a breakout. He had 15 points though in those 24 games. The team was literally hot. Team was hot garbage before they brought him up, and they were missing the playoffs. But then he came in and kind of messed that up and made them look pretty good. And I'm going to go with Luke Evangelista.
Yeah.
24 games, 15 points. I mean, like, if you watched a second of this guy, you know that he's a stud. Second round pick, which is kind of surprising for someone his age coming up and doing this that quickly. But I mean, I don't know. To me, he's going to be playing like some very important. He's going to be playing all the offensive minutes for Nashville. I'm sure he's going to be up on the power play there for them. So I'm going with Luke Evangelista. That's my guy.
It's a good pick. I mean, I had him on there as well. I think the points, like the total points, will help you out there. I think he might still be considered a rookie if we're being honest, because he's not. It's less than 20. He played 24 games, had 15 points, right?
Yeah.
I believe you need 26 to not be a rookie. I'll give him to you though. That's just a footnote we'll throw in there.
That is crazy.
Luke Evangelista is a good one. You want a free one? You can do Tomasino, his team.
Yeah, that was going to be my next pick. That was actually going to be my next pick there. But
you can go with both of them. I don't give a shit. You gave me a lot of runway, we'll call it, with my Leafs draft, I think it was.
All right, fine. Then I'll go back with Philip Tomasino. The only reason why I'm a little hesitant for Tomasino is just depends on who's playing that first power play for them. But
that's true.
It's fine. Whatever. I'm still gonna go with him.
Raymond is first power play, so
that's good.
Still
that's
alive,
good.
baby.
But yeah, let's just. It's fine. Let's go with Tomasino then. I mean,
new head coach too with Nashville. I think that's going to be really important. For some reason, the last season they sent Tomasino down after playing a full season with Nashville. He had like 30 points in 74 games. They send him down. Why? No clue. Evangelista took him like 24 games left in the season for him to get called up. And the team was significantly better with those two in the lineup. They made some adjustments. I mean, like Duchesne and Johansson out, but then they put Ryan O'Reilly in. How much does that help them? I have no idea. I think both are talented players, though. I really like Tomasino. Like, I've watched him in junior. That's where the most I've probably watched him was in junior. I haven't watched him too much in the NHL, but really like both of those players there. So
yeah, and
bonus question: where did they play in the OHL?
You're asking the wrong guy. Got to get Ben back on here to tell you.
Tomasino played with the Ice Dogs and the Generals, and Evangelista played with the Knights.
I feel like I knew Evangelista with the Knights, but I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Didn't even want to try because I thought I'd probably get it wrong. But yeah, so on Daily Faceoff right now, I just took a quick peek. They're not always right, but I mean, they have Glass and Novak on the first power play unit. I could see Tomasino potentially bumping one of those two guys. So, and they also have Tomasino on the third line and Gus Nyquist on the first. Like, I'm willing to bet that if that's the case at the start of the season, it will not be the case 20 games in, because I mean, I don't see. I could see Evangelista up there, first of all, and I just think Evangelista and Tomasino probably just have way better upside than Gus Nyquist overall on both ends of the ice. So yeah, I don't see the point of even having Gus Nyquist up there. I feel like Gus Nyquist would probably fit better on their third line. But anyways, that's beside the point. So yeah, Tomasino and Evangelista, and just like that, I filled my 3 forward spots. So yeah.
All right. So in the past, where you kind of get burned with these is that like you don't pick the high. Like I'm just speaking in general. Where I've been burned in the past, you don't pick like the most talented of talented players. You're kind of picking like maybe you're looking for the big home run jump.
Yeah.
And sometimes that doesn't always work out, right? When you look at
Okay.
some of the big jumpers from last year, like look at it, like Necas, I got that one pretty good. 2 years ago was Jack Hughes, former first overall pick. He really broke out that 2 years ago when he was over a point a game. And then last year, 99 points. So I'm going where I'm getting with this. I'm going towards the high draft picks. Again, I'm going back to the well. I'm going back to the Michigan well, actually. And I'm going with Matty Beniers in Seattle.
Okay,
I think
fair enough.
He had a very good rookie season.
Yeah.
I think it was 57 points, something like that.
Yep.
And I'm really looking for him to build off of that and have a really good sophomore year. I mean, it's a good team. He's surrounded by some pretty good players as well, some pretty good talent there. So I'm really looking for him to take the next step. I think he checked the first box in that rookie year, probably even a little bit better than a lot of myself and a lot of people expected. But I think, it's all on the up and up.
All up from here.
There.
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing for him is he's going to need a bump in playing time. He already played like around average F1 minutes at 5-on-5, I think around 14. But I could see him getting bumped. I mean, here's the problem. This isn't a bad pick. I actually really like this pick. The problem with Seattle is they're a deep team. So that's where you might get hurt there.
They don't play one line particularly like a lot more than the other ones, but
Matty Beniers might be able to separate himself next year where they will start to lean more heavily on him, and it might be wise that they do so, especially if they're going to be down in games, because we know that their goaltending situation kind of played a little bit out of their mind this year, definitely above their head. So factoring in them
above their head, Seattle's goalies couldn't stop a beach ball last year. Their defense is pretty thin. Their defense is pretty good, but Seattle's goaltending sucked last year. I mean, we got Martin Jones with an 886. Guess where he is now? Third goalie, though. Third goalie. That's not a bad deal for a third goalie.
Not bad.
880. If he was our starting goalie, that'd be an issue.
And
then Philip Grubauer is getting paid 6.5-ish to stop 89.5% of the shots faced his way, which is horrible. They made the playoffs and made the second round.
Anyways. So, I didn't mean the goaltending. I meant more their team is going to allow more goals. I don't think they're going to be as good defensively. And you're right, their goaltending played horrendous. I don't know what I was thinking there, but they also didn't allow a lot of shots. So what I'm saying is like regression on the amount of goals scored against them, which will lead to them needing more goals, which will lead to them playing Matt Beniers more. Therefore, I like your pick. So I think it's back to you for the second half of your pick, correct?
So I've gone Beniers, Raymond, and Owen Power. So I'm just going to take the easy slam dunk that I should have took first overall. I'm going Evan Bouchard. I think his career high is something like 40 points. We saw what he did in the playoffs, which was phenomenal. If this guy's playing first power play, which I anticipate he is, and why wouldn't he be? He's going to put up 70 points next year. Evan Bouchard, 65 to 70 points next year. Playing good offensive player, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say he's already kind of broken out. 43 points, 81 games last year. 40 points, 82 games last.
65.
65
he's getting.
Oh, you think he's getting 65? Wow. Okay. Yes. Well, for a defenseman, that's crazy, but I respect that. I mean, all right, I'll give it to you.
We saw Carlson get 100 points last year. We saw Heiskanen get 73 points last year. We saw Dahlin get 73 points last year. We saw Quinn Hughes get over 70 points last year. Right?
Yep, definitely possible. Yeah, I'm not going to hate on it. I mean, we know how good Evan Bouchard is.
We saw Vince Dunn have 64 points last year.
Which is crazy, but
I was a year late on that one. Just remember that.
So you're telling me I should pick the players who busted for me last year for this draft. This is where I'm messing up right now.
That's what I should have done. I think it was 2 years ago. That's pretty much what happened. I think I had one or two guys break out just the wrong year.
That happens. But anyways, Yeah. Okay. Evan Bouchard. I mean, I like that. It's going to be tough point per game to pass what he's done right now and total, but
I don't think.
I mean, hey, you're right. He could
playoffs.
Like power play. You're right. Power play one with McDavid, like he might be able to get literally a point per game. So that's kind of crazy. So I'm kind of mad because I think my defensemen are kind of in that same vein, but I don't think they'll be as high as how many points they got for you right now. So, but Evan Bouchard's going to get for you. So I think you beat me on that one. So for my next two, my first one, I'm going to go with Bowen Byram. I mean, he's been hurt the past 2 years. He's only played 42 games, 24 points. But listen, he's a stud. We've seen what he can
did
do
in the playoff run.
Exactly. And that's all you kind of have to look towards for these defensemen is that like kind of representative of their playoff run. And listen, he's not going to get the PP1 action. Cal McCarr is obviously there, but I don't know. Who's to say he can't put up like 40 points at 5-on-5, right? Like, is that crazy? Probably, but this team is stacked from top to bottom. He's going to be playing like a lot of probably easier minutes compared to his other defensive partners. Expect him to get a minutes bump at 22, 23 years old because they want him to be a guy behind Cale Makar. If they can have a solid 1-2, like we've seen other teams do it in the past, I think that's the best path
Makar
for
Taves, and then he would be second pairing.
Yeah, sorry, I meant 1-2 as in like
two together. But yes, top four, yes.
Exactly. So dominant two pairing. So yeah, give me Bowen Byram.
Yeah, that's a good one. Just issues his injuries, and it's not like it's his what's it called? It's concussions too. So it's a bit of a scary one. But that is he's a great player. So like with these, you can never go wrong banking on a great player, and especially one that you've seen play very, very well in like a 20-game sample size. You're probably going to cut this, but you said he got traded.
Yeah, I am going to cut this because I was thinking of someone.
You read the script for the wrong player. I thought that was so funny.
Yes, I had a spiel written out for someone else.
Who's this traded player? This
so actually, I'm actually not even. I'm not even going to go this guy. He was just below. So I have four. I'm giving him to you. I'm going to give him to you. I have four guys because I really want this other guy.
That are better.
What? You have 2D that are better.
But I think that the one that you mentioned probably will get more. We'll get a good points bump.
He will get
why you're not taking this guy.
He will get a good points bump, but I have another guy who scored less points last year, and I think we'll get a better points bump this year. That guy is Jake Sanderson for the Ottawa Senators because simply I think he was an absolute stud for them last year. And if he can make his way on PP1, I think he will have an absolutely banana season. I think he has the legit tools to have a banana season. He is such a good puck transporter at 5-on-5, and he's such a great offensive mind in the offensive zone, being able to create deception off the blue line, which I think is one of the most important things for a defenseman to score and to create, is to be able to draw guys in, create deception, and move after that. So that's what I love Jake Sanderson as a player. He had 77 games played last year, 32 points. I mean, listen, he had a decent amount for someone his age and especially a defenseman, but like, who's to say he can't do what Dahlin did the year before, right? I mean, like, I think he has legitimately all the tools to do that, especially like offensively. Give me Jake Sanderson.
I don't know if he'll get the power play minutes, but I do agree. Sens fans seem to love him, and I do agree he is a good player. I begrudgingly will agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
But, Jake Sanderson's a good pick. So how many guys do you have right now on your
5
team?
And I need one goalie. But before I throw to your picks, we got a quick obligation to do here. Going to tell you guys quickly about DraftKings. Can you believe that we've been literally had 7 months without an NFL game? It's absolutely insane. Well, good news is that that's over. NFL's finally here. We have a Thursday night football game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Detroit Lions. And DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is giving you a can't-miss offer for Week 1. This week, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 on any NFL game. DraftKings is hooking everyone up with game day greatness. All customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every single game day this September. Check the app to see what you get. Download now and use the code THPN to sign up. That's THPN. New customers can take home $200 in bonus bets instantly just for betting $5. That's code THPN only on DraftKings, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. The crown is yours. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 88778-HOPE-NEW YORK or text HOPE New York 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. See dkng.co/football for eligibility, terms and responsible gambling resources. Terms and responsible gaming resources. Excuse me. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. That was a mouthful, but we've made our way through.
You want to hear some breaking news?
Let's hear it.
Jake Sanderson, 8 by 8.05. I'm getting a text right now.
Wow. Holy smokes. Yeah.
During that ad, I got a text that said Jake Sanderson, 8 by 8.05. What timing?
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's honestly insane. And I mean, what a deal they got on him. He's like way better than Thomas Chabot. And hey, you don't pay a guy $8 million to not play him on PP1. I'll just say that. You don't pay a guy that much.
Had injury issues, but that have slowed him, I would say. But I mean, yeah, they're both good players.
Exactly. So yeah, Jake Sanderson, that's my pick. Okay. On to you. Last 2 picks for you. Let's hear them.
Are you doing oh yeah, you did too.
I did too. Yeah.
So I need a forward, correct?
Correct.
And I need a goalie.
Yes.
So my goalie, I'm going to go with my goalie pick first. He had to go to the player assistance program. I believe he's out. I believe he's back with the team. He joined rookie camp just so he can get acclimated back, back getting going. But I'm going with Spencer Knight. I really, really like this player. I think he's a tremendously talented goaltender. He's shown flashes of greatness in the NHL. And I think this is the year that he takes that next step, especially Bobrovsky played a lot of hockey last year. He's 34 years old. I, again, love the goaltender, love the opportunity that he's going to get. So I'm going with Spencer Knight. We had some trouble finding goalies and deciphering if they were rookies or not. So this one is, I can confidently say this one is not a rookie. And I really like this one. So
I like it too. I mean, listen, Florida is the perfect situation for him to, like, a good environment for him to foster his game at the NHL level. I mean, listen, they're obviously not the
issue is it's going to be tough because, their defense,
but he's going to get games.
Not going to be ready until January. Yeah.
I think
Montour's not going to be ready for the start of the year. Who do they got? They're playing Ekman-Larsson first pairing.
Yeah, but I think the most important thing is getting games under his belt. I think that's what he needs at this point. So as long as he can get, I think for the breakout stuff, you need a path towards game played. Because for me, 20 games played and like a 920 save percentage, not a breakout. You need to play 1A, 1B games to be considered a breakout in my books. Yeah. But goalies is up in the air for this one. So I like that pick a lot. I was back and forth on if it would count, but I think it does count. So we'll give it to you.
I would say so. In terms of my forward pick, I could go so many which ways with this one. I have so many defense. Oh, here's my forward pick. It's Troy Terry. He has not hit 70 points yet. I have him over 80 for next season. I mean, a lot of people liked Adam Henrique at the deadline. I think Adam Henrique's 20-plus goal season was largely due to Troy Terry's production. He's signed long-term. Team got a little bit better, I guess. How can you get worse than what they were last year? But I think they're going to play with a little bit more balls next season. So Troy Terry, this guy's ability to carry the puck and create offense on his own is second to none. I mean, he had 37 goals 2 years ago. I think it dropped a little bit to 31 last year, but has not hit 70 points yet. I think his career high is 67. I think he's too talented to be below that. 80-plus points. Troy Terry.
So you are setting the bar incredibly high here because.
No, I'm not.
Well, to be I'm not saying he's not good, but you're picking basically a 70-point player to break out.
He's never hit 70.
He's at 67. This is close enough. I think you Icarus that one. I think you Icarus that one. You flew a little too close to the sun there for me. But I'll allow it. It's just, again, it's like this Anaheim team is so garbage. It's hard for me to imagine them have a player who sniffs anywhere near a point per game. So it's going to be tough. But hey, the team is garbage. So guess who's going to play a lot of minutes? Troy Terry will definitely play a lot of minutes. So
yeah,
I mean, there's definitely that. Yeah, I don't hate it, but
could have went with his teammate Trevor Zegras there. I mean, you could say he's going to break out and whatever. I mean, you could argue that Troy Terry has broken. I think there's another level to it in terms of production. Just like the microstats are too good, and even leaving the microstats alone, just watching him, he's too good to have not hit 70 points yet, in my opinion. That's just what I'm basing it on. Trevor Zegras, what was he last year? 60 something. The year before, not quite that. So I think he's at that age where he's young, and again, is the team that much better? Who'd they add? I don't know, garbage.
Radko Gudas. Yeah, so it's funny that you mentioned Zegras, who also had 65 points, but you didn't mention Oglethorpe, Mason McTavish.
Oh man, that's a miss.
Who had 43 points in 80 games, and you could see him getting to that 60-point plateau and making that big jump. But I mean, it's all good. I don't blame you for taking a look at the Anaheim Ducks, because again, I feel like game script matters. They're going to be down in games. They're going to be want to be playing these guys a ton. They're going to be seeing the first power play minutes. Whereas these other guys who are on better teams, they're not seeing the first power play. They're not seeing the bulk of 5-on-5 minutes. So it's harder to break out when you're not scoring, when you're not on the ice. Sorry. When you're playing 5 minutes less than the next guy, you're going to take the guy who plays more minutes over that. So I listen, I think you set the bar a little high here for Troy Terry, but I'll give it to you. So,
all right.
Yeah. All right. Well,
we forgot to mention for points totals for each of our players.
I've been mentioning points totals for my guys. And I've also I've come in on your players and mentioned points.
How many points is Sanderson getting next year?
Oh, how many points is he getting?
Yes.
If he's on PP1, he's going to get 55, I think.
50 if he's on PP1.
Yeah. And that's generous, 55? I think.
I think that is pretty generous. All right. I'm saying Owen Power 50. I said Evan Bouchard 65 plus, which that's generous in my opinion. Lucas Raymond, I'm going 65. Who did I say? Matty Beniers, I think is 70. And Troy Terry, I'm going 85.
I'm going to go slow
Spencer
and
Knight,
low for my
15 plus.
I'm going to set my games played for Spencer Knight.
45.
Okay. I like that. I'm going to go slow and low, set my guys all at 60 for those forwards, Tomasino and Evangelista and Goldson. And then I said Sanderson 55. And then, Byram. I have Byram. Well, if Byram plays 82 games, I think he can get 45, 50 points probably easily. And a majority of them coming on 5-on-5.
A point every other game at 40.
I know he was insane. It's all about if he stays healthy or not.
Unreal math on that one.
And then, all right, my last pick, I guess. I mean, I have to go goalie. I tried to ask if I can pull my goalie and go 6 players, but didn't work. Not allowed to do it. So I'm gonna have to go with Akira Schmidt, I guess. I actually don't.
Schmid.
I don't know. Vitek Vanacek is
Schmid.
He's the starter out there. They got rid of Mackenzie Blackwood. I mean, Akira Schmid, 18 games played last year, 922 save percentage. Can he get back to that 922? Maybe, probably not, but I would hope he gets a 915, plays 35, 40 games. And I think that'd be considered a breakout year in my books. Don't really have much on Akira Schmid. I'm not a goalie guy, so it's hard for me to even mention.
A lot of promise last year in the first round. Just the issue with second round, he played hot garbage, but
that's all right.
Big, talented. Pretty good glove hand from what I remember. If you remember, actually, the Leafs lit him up 2 years ago, but showed a lot of development from last season to this past season. I mean, the 922, like it's over a small sample size. I think he can take the net easily from Vanacek. I'm not the biggest Vanacek fan. He's okay. He's a good 1B. Schmid, I think, could surpass him, play close to 50 games and be close to that 920-ish mark. I mean, I know it's not going to be the best in terms of save percentage. This save percentage coming year minus save percentage last year, but you got to look at also the games played with that. So that'll be an interesting one. Couple, we can go on
players we missed.
Just our honorable mention list, shall we? Some people wrote in some ones.
Yeah,
some people wrote in. We'll go with these. Owen Power was written in once. That was a good one. Lucas Reichel, thought that was an interesting one. Then Matthews fan said Owen Tippett, establishing himself as a premier power forward. I'm not the biggest on Tippett. I don't think he's a smart enough player to do so, and especially when you're on Philly, like where the other smart players you're playing with. He had 27 this past year. I think that's good for him, but in terms of going past that, it's tough. I don't think there's enough to his game to go past that.
Yeah,
I don't think there's enough layers to uncover.
Yeah, 50 points in 77 games. I mean,
that's good.
Can he get is 60 considered a breakout when you just scored 50? I don't know. I feel like he has to touch 35 goals, 60, almost 40 goals to have a breakout season. So yeah,
I don't quite see it, but he's playing better. I mean, good for
and good for him, right? So
that Giroux trade.
Yeah.
But who's your first honorable mention?
Oh, it's Sean Durzi. It's Sean Durzi.
He's a fantastic pick.
The guy who muffed me up, and I had to cut it out because I was going to say Bowen Byron got traded to Arizona, which he definitely did not get traded to Arizona. But Sean Durzi, I mean, 38 points in 72 games played. He's like a pure offensive defenseman. Think Shane Gostisbehere. Think all those other guys who came, Tony DeAngelo, all those other guys who come into Arizona, played those first PP minutes and just kind of ate on that power play.
Not Tony DeAngelo, but you're 1000% correct with the Shane Gostisbehere. This is a fantastic pick by you. I don't know how I overlooked this one.
Yeah.
I was looking for guys that are going to go up to first power play around the league. It's tough to find many. I mean, you could maybe look at Cameron. Is his first name Cameron? Why did I blank on that one? York in Philadelphia. Because they're getting rid of DeAngelo. A lot of people seem to like York down there. So I think that could be one in terms of a breakout there. You have another one?
I am an idiot and deleted my forwards after I picked them. Let me see if I can undo the list. Yeah, okay. So I brought up Mason McTavish.
That's
we mentioned him a little earlier.
That's a really good one.
Another guy who probably is could get a bump as a rising tides lifts all ships. JJ Petreka.
JJ Peterka, in Buffalo.
In Buffalo, just because again we think that they're going to be a little bit better. 32 points, 77 games played last year. I want to say he's playing on their first power play. I cannot remember. Don't have time to bring it up.
I don't think so, but so maybe anyways, a Peyton Krebs there too. He's in a similar situation. By that, I'm just saying by that logic, as well.
I just think Krebs is
okay.
Yeah.
How about this one? Moritz Seider. He was a guy that you mentioned as your bounce back candidate. I'm shocked you didn't pick him for this. You mentioned bounce back episode. You mentioned him 2 episodes early.
Yeah, well,
not for breakout.
I mentioned him as a bounce back because his underlying metrics were horrendous, and we speculated that it might have to do with the partner that he was playing with early on in the season, and then also maybe not properly getting accredited for some things. But I mentioned him as a bounce back and then getting to elite. So I guess he falls into both categories. I didn't want to double up on him. I felt like it wasn't really fair to use the same guy for two different things. So I mean,
all right. I mean, I don't know. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't. I mean, Is it cheating that you mentioned him 2 episodes early? I don't think so. Is it odd that you mentioned him 2 episodes early and not 2 episodes later for this a different topic? That I would say he fits more into. I don't know, but yeah, I think Moritz Seider's again extremely talented.
He's going to
He's going to
explode
be
this
playing
year.
first power play. I think like they added again. Detroit added to their team this past year. I think that's only going to help him out. We mentioned Cody Glass. Good. That's one to keep your eye on. Lucas Dostal in Anaheim, I think, is another great pick. The issue is with him, like he had a 900 this past year. The team stinks, and the team is not going to be very good next year. But I think he's a very talented up and coming goaltender. So it'll be interesting to see how many starts he gets. I mean, they have Gibson there. So like you do have to keep him happy. And he is also a good goaltender, I would say too. But yeah, both those guys are just going to get shelled.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But I think Dostal's a good pick. I think he's going to start some. He's not going to be in the AHL this next year. So
yeah, I think that's a good one. Krebs. Yeah, those are both good. I think. Barrett. Do we mention Barrett Hayden?
That is a very good pick. Simply because when you look back at this past year, if you do a simple look at his like splits, pull up his splits while I filibuster. He was a 5th overall pick. Not the greatest skater. It was a little bit of a surprise by some people. Great hands out of Sault Ste. Marie there. He got called up his next season. He played pretty well, but he got called up to the NHL, sent back for the World Junior Tournament. Looked awesome there. Slow start to his NHL year. His career, I would say, and a very, very slow start to this past year. Do you have the splits up from this past year? What do you do in the second half of the year? 40 points total, mind you. What was it? 32 in the second half of the year?
Yeah. So in the second half, so from January onwards, he had 30, I want to say 34 points in 46-ish games, 47 games, 34 points, 47 games in the second from January onwards.
Yep. He finished the year with like 41 points.
Yeah. So
could he go over 40? 100%.
Probably. Yeah.
Again, that's another guy. How many more layers to his game are there? Well, from how well he played this past year. I mean, could you say maybe Matthias Michelli in Arizona there? But like the issue is the next layer to his game is actually being able to shoot the puck, which he just doesn't like to do. So
well,
maybe he likes to shoot the puck. Sure.
Yeah.
Again, that's another great player.
I think his ceiling is capped. He shot 18% last year. He scored 11 goals. I mean, like he does. Yeah, he shot like crazy hot, and I don't think that's
how many total shots on net though.
131. Like, I don't think that's based. That's what I'm saying though. I don't think it's based on talent, right? I think it's like
he just doesn't like to shoot the puck.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think Machili is like the fake smoke. I'm trying to think of like the right word for that. I think the right guy on that team, if you want to pick to break out, who has the legit tools, can probably earn more ice time, be trusted more, is a guy like Barrett Hayden over Machili.
Okay, so, yeah, I like that one.
Yeah,
that's a good pick, Barrett Hayden. What about couple former? Actually, the first and second overall pick from the 2020. Yeah, the 2020 draft, Lafreniere and Byfield. What do you think about those two?
Lafreniere, like, no, I think he's like trending towards, I don't want to say bust, because like we've seen people bust way worse for going first overall. Just because you're not scoring like 90 points in a season doesn't make you a bust. Like, not everyone is a McDavid, and Matthews, a Bedard to start their career. So I don't think Lafreniere is going to break out. I think he might be capped on like his ability to score. Who was the second one you mentioned?
New York, though.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe a new coach can change some things up for him, but I don't think he was ever that like he was was
he just didn't
correct me
show
if I'm wrong.
much. So
Correct me if I'm wrong, but when
didn't
he was in
show very
junior
much.
in his last year in junior, he was a lot older than a norm. Like, no, he was young.
Well, no, so his draft year, he was a late birthday, right? But the year before that, he still had 90 some odd points.
Interesting.
Maybe even 100. I can't remember exactly, but no, his junior production, his junior tape, his junior everything was fantastic. It's just he's gotten to the pros, and I don't know, it hasn't really taken a step. Him and Capo Caco, it's kind of the same sort of thing. The next, the other player I mentioned was Byfield. I mean, this is kind of a guy like great frame to him. I don't know if he's going to play center this year. They have a bazillion centers. They started to give him better minutes down the stretch, I want to say, in the regular season, and he started to put up more points. I can't remember exactly how many. I think he finished 22 and 50, something like that. But when you look at the overall progress, it's slowly but surely getting there. So maybe 2 years for Byfield.
Yeah. I for Byfield again, like same boat as Lafreniere, where he might not even, like, who knows if he'll get there. Like for him though, the biggest problem is like the logjam at center for the Kings, right? Like unless they want,
I don't see him playing center then. Like
that yeah, like unless they wanted to play on the wing, but doesn't that kind of neuter his value? Like, wouldn't he better be a player who's kind of works better through the middle of the ice? Maybe not. Anyways,
I haven't watched him enough to make that specific determination, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
This coming year is the last year of his ELC. Am I not wrong?
Probably, but he'll probably get like a
sounds about right.
A 1 year.
I wonder what they'll do. I want to say they'll bridge him, because that'd be risky. You give him like 4 or 5 mil.
Yeah.
That's risky right there. You have anyone else on your list?
That's it for me, I think. Trying to think if anyone comes to mind. Obviously, I wish we could put Matthew Knies on this. Oh,
for a full year, maybe. I don't think so though.
Rasmus Sandin, 71 games played, 35 points. Why can't he get a bump? Who's to say that he doesn't?
I don't know if he's going to be power play 1, but that's a very good pick. I agree.
Does it really matter? He wasn't playing power play 1 with the Leafs. He wasn't playing at all with the Leafs. Give him proper minutes, and I think he'll be able to do something. So maybe not a super breakout, but I could see him. Let's say I could see him sniff like 40 points. Let's call it 40 points. Not that much of a boost, but I mean, if he's playing that at 5-on-5
overall points, that's a good boost, I would say.
Yeah. So in a if he's not playing power play, like that's 5-on-5, I think that's a pretty high enough bar where it's attainable, but I think it's pretty still considered impressive.
You know, one I hope, based on nothing but hope, is obviously Nick Robertson. I mean,
that's a good one. I mean,
injury issues. I mean,
yeah.
Like, can you say for the 3rd year in a row? Oh, if he stays healthy, it's like, if he gives you 60 games, right? But even then, he could be boxed out of the lineup right now.
He could be. I mean, it's a tough spot for him, and it's who knows? Like, it's going to be interesting to see the full, like, if the philosophy changes. Now we're getting into Leaf stuff, but it's going to be. Oh, am I excited? It's going to be interesting to see if the philosophy changes with how we choose to. I don't want to say develop, but utilize our younger players to see kind of what we have in them, because we know the history of this team has not really been to lean into their younger players and play them. It's been more so to sign these guys like Nicholas Aube-Kubel and give them 20 games or something like that, and then throw them on waivers. But so it's going to be interesting to see the philosophy behind the
Robertson specifically. That one's really, really curious behind that one. I believe he's still waiver eligible. I mean, waiver exempt. So that's always good. But you have to throw a Leaf pick in here. You have to throw a Leaf pick in here. Come on. I mean, and like, you can't throw Connor Timmins in. I mean, he's the 7th D right now.
He is the 7th D. Well, hey, he might not even be on the team come the start of the year. But at the same time, like, if we're going to talk about like guys who broke out, like frick, 14 points, 25 games, those are Evangelista numbers, and he's a defenseman. So I mean, hey, if he can take that and work on it next year.
Extrapolate that.
Yeah,
extrapolate that. That's a 40-point pace.
That's crazy. So I'd be shocked if he hits 30, honestly, but we'll see.
Obviously, I'd be shocked if he hits like 50 games at this rate. But yeah, that's a good one. I'm trying to think anyone else that we might have missed. We 100% are missing someone that's like someone that went high in a draft, didn't quite live up to expectation. Like Shane Wright doesn't count. He's still a rookie. Slavkowski, no. Just no.
Yeah, not a fan of that. Caulfield, maybe, but like I feel like he's already kind of broken out.
Caulfield's a good one. Yeah, that's a point total one, though.
Yeah. So
he was almost like, is he going to hit 90 this next year?
That'd be tough.
That's the thing, crazy. Especially coming off shoulder surgery, major shoulder surgery.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be one there. Yeah, I was thinking in the beginning, like Joel Hofer or Artur Silovs, who are both goalies. Hofer's with the St. Louis Blues, but I think he's considered a rookie, and so is Silovs in Vancouver there. But two goalies to keep your eye on, I would say. You might remember Hofer from the World Juniors. He played for Canada, and Silovs just won. I think he was MVP of the World Championships. So he had a very good showing there.
Yeah.
Not people you would know, right? Not a goalie guy. Yeah, we're gonna close it out here. We're filibustering too much. I think that's all we got, though. Right?
That's all I got for me. Yeah, I think that's it.
All right. Thanks everyone for listening.
Goalies go.